Most traders love drawing trend lines, but almost nobody measures what happens after they break. You get the breakout, price runs for a bit, then chops around, and you're left wondering, was that a real shift in momentum or just noise? Trendlines with breaks Oscillator flips that idea on its head. It takes every confirmed bullish and bearish trendline break on your chart and turns them into a smooth, color-coded wave that shows who's in control. In this video, we'll break down how it works, how to set it up, and how you can start using it for free. Before we dive into the oscillator itself, let's quickly talk about what it's built on. Trendline breaks. A traditional trendline connects a series of swing highs or swing lows and acts as a rough guide for the current move. When price cleanly breaks that line, it often signals that momentum is shifting and a new leg is starting. The problem is that this is usually very subjective. Two traders can draw the same trend completely differently and get totally different signals. This indicator solves that by automating the whole process. It uses a swing detection engine to find objective highs and lows, builds bullish and bearish trend lines from those points, then tracks how far price pushes once those lines are broken. All that breakout information is compressed into a zero-centered oscillator so you can read structure-based momentum at a glance, without manually drawing a single line. Once the indicator is added, a smooth, wave-like oscillator appears beneath price. The colored area flips between green and red, depending on whether bullish or bearish trendline breaks are in control. Values above zero show bullish momentum, values below zero show bearish pressure, and the slope tells you whether that momentum is accelerating or fading. Green and red dots mark where new, bullish, or bearish breaks were confirmed, so you can see which parts of each swing are driven by fresh breakouts. The height of each wave reflects how far price travels away from its broken trend lines. The larger that distance, the stronger the reading. You can shape that structure from the trend line section in the settings. Swing detection look back decides how far back the algo searches for swing highs and lows. Lower values react quickly and focus on short-term structure, while higher values emphasize major turning points. The slope input sets how steep those lines can be, and the slope calculation method lets you base that steepness on price change alone or adjust it for volatility with tools like ATR. Under Oscillator, short alpha length and long alpha length control how fast bullish and bearish break distances are smoothed. Smaller alphas make the wave more responsive. Larger alphas slow it down and are better for higher timeframe bias. The smoothing signal setting lets you choose the method and length of the signal line that cuts through the oscillator for simple crossover confirmations when momentum flips. Finally, the divergences toggle activates a built-in divergence detector that compares price swings to the oscillator's peaks and troughs, so you can catch potential reversals without manually drawing anything. With those pieces dialed in, the Trendlines with Breaks oscillator becomes a compact momentum map built directly from objective trendline break structure. To see this oscillator in action and clearly visualize the breaks, you'll also want to pull up its counterpart, the regular trendline with break indicator. This tool draws trend lines directly on your chart, making it easy to spot where breaks occur. Now, let's explore how to combine these tools to identify trade opportunities. First, keep in mind that no single indicator is a magic solution. You'll want to build confluence. That's why we're pairing this with the Signals and Overlays algo, which includes a feature called the Smart Trail, perfect for confirming entry and exit signals. In this example, we'll be analyzing Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame. The first thing you'll notice is the oscillator transitioning from bearish to bullish conditions, with the colors shifting from red to green. Crucially, this shift happens while price is trading above the smart trail. Next, we get a bullish trendline break confirmation. At first glance, this might look like a clear entry, but notice what happens immediately after. We get a bearish trendline break. However, price fails to break below the smart trail. Once the candle colors from the Signals and Overlays toolkit turn back to green, that becomes our entry signal. At this point, you can enter the trade with your stop placed just below the smart trail and look to ride the trend. Simple, clean, and effective. And that's the Trendlines with Breaks oscillator, a structure-driven way to read momentum, spot divergences, and see when a trend is quietly losing steam long before it shows up on price alone. Instead of guessing which trend lines matter, this tool does the heavy lifting for you and turns every confirmed break into a clean, objective signal. You can start using it right now, completely free, inside the LuxAlgo library at luxalgo.com, across platforms like TradingView, MetaTrader, NinjaTrader, and more. If you want extra